Hey guys, there's a piece of advice that dog trainers give to their clients a lot, and there's very lots of variations of it, but it basically says your dog is always learning from you, right? Every time you interact with a dog, you're teaching them something. They're reading you, they're responding to what you do, and they're making mental notes about what works and what doesn't work. And so the implication or the direct idea is that if you are aware of that, you can choose to teach very specific things. But if you're not aware of it, if you're just going through life kind of haphazard, just making decisions on the moment without a larger structure or idea in your head, you're probably going to end up inadvertently teaching some things you don't intend to teach, right? The specific things you want is a very small amount of behaviors the dog can do. The things you don't want is much larger. So it is very likely that you're going to inadvertently teach them the wrong thing. And I've been telling my clients this for pretty much as long as I've been a trainer. And it's a great piece of advice. It's a great way to look at it. And if people take it seriously, you can tell it changes the way they interact with a dog. Every interaction becomes more thoughtful, more deliberate, and it does a whole lot. And I think it's a great thing. But the thing is that I'm really thinking about today is that for most of my career, I kind of misunderstood it. And I don't think I'm alone. I think when I talk to other trainers or I read what they write, I see them also sort of misunderstanding it. But maybe that's not the right word. Misunderstanding is probably the wrong word. I think it's more about prioritizing, right? When most trainers say this, it's an effort to, tell people to stop spoiling their dog, to set better boundaries and be more clear about what's expected, not to let things go until later and this sort of stuff. And again, that's wonderful advice. It's very, very important, right? But it's all about for most trainers, it seems to all about teaching the dog what is expected and required of them to be a good member of the family. And again, those things are important. That's why people call dog trainers, is to help get us to help teach those things, right? But now when I think about it a little differently. What's been missing in most of these conversations is that's also about teaching the dog about you, teaching the dog that you are dependable, that you're kind, that you're safe. Is you're teaching them how you deal with them when you disagree, when they make a mistake. You're teaching the dog what to expect from you and how emotionally stable you are. So it's not just about what I want from the dog, it's also about promises I'm making to the dog about who I am and what I'm going to give them, how I'm going to treat them. So now when I think about the fact that I'm always teaching every dog I interact with, I'm not thinking about boundaries or status or long-term behaviors. I'm thinking about what I'm telling the dog about my character, about my stability, about my trustworthiness. I'm worried more about the promises I'm making to that dog than what things I'm going to demand from the dog. I'm still discouraging unwanted behavior and encouraging desired behaviors. That never changes, but those things aren't the point anymore. They're important for sure, but to me, those are moments where I can tell the dog not just what works and what doesn't work, but also what kind of person I am and how I handle disagreements. I'm building a foundation of trust that I can rely on over and over again for the rest of the dog's life. And to me, that's way more important than telling the dog what I expect of them, right? But the good news is, I don't have to choose between the two, and neither does anybody else. You just have to set your intention to prioritize character over behavior. And if you do that, you get them both. All right. Just something I was thinking about earlier today. That's it for now. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.